Well, normally I do vlogs on match days about City games, but tonight I'm doing a one about this film, The Keeper, which is the story of Bert Trautmann. I'm going to meet the three main actors who are in the film. I'm going to be on the red carpet, I'm going to be at the premiere, and I'm going to give you my review and get some other reviews of what the film's like. So let's see what the main protagonists who are in the film, the two main characters, Bert and Margaret, and also the manager of St. Helens town, have to say about the film, about the recording process, and what the film means to them. So I've seen the film, and I expected to see basically a football film, but it's not a football film. How would you describe it?
I think the film has so many different aspects. I think it's a love story. It's a film about a man coming to terms with his own past, and also with his own guilt. It's a film about someone who finds a new home in England, and has a family there, and it's a very personal story about this amazing life that Bert Trautmann has lived.
What is it with boys and football?
Football is like a wonderful dance.
It's bloody barbaric.
Not if you look closely.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, no girl at home.
What did Thompson want?
He wants me to come to Man City for a trial.
I read a lot about civilian life throughout the Second World War and what it was like for those who, who represented, I think it's, 90% of those in Britain throughout the Second World War represented, civilians. And this sort of sense of community and patriotism that would be embedded in you through experience and through having this kind of monumental change in your life on structures, having so much, loss and death and destruction. I think, for Margaret, who'd been growing up in the war throughout her teens, for her then as a young woman to meet a German, I think she would feel so much rage and anger about, all her past and about how much that affected her and those around her. And I think it's easy, absolutely, to blame, to scapegoat someone, to look at someone and blame them for all that's happened to you. But the thing that's beautiful is that there's such a change, because she meets this person and can't deny his humanity, and sees someone who wants to change, and sees someone who's open to that. And then through that kind of acceptance, bit by bit, there grows love and a life together. So it was a challenge, definitely, but fascinating to do.
I need to know the truth.
The truth about what?
About you!
Bert has only learned how to do two things: be a soldier and be a footballer.
I didn't know him as a soldier. I only know him as a man.
There's no war in this dressing room.
What I found fascinating about this is that he had the chance to go back home, to go back to Germany, and he decided to stay because he fell in love with the country, and he fell in love with the people there, and he always said that he will always be grateful for the acceptance they gave him. And he learned a lot about tolerance and humanity, and of course about the democratic system, because he grew up in this criminal regime, and he went through all this brainwashing, and he wanted to become a soldier, and then he realized there's something completely wrong, and this film tries to capture that change in him as well. It's a film about reconciliation. And he decides to stay in England, and he wanted to give something back.
To me and everyone round here, you're still the enemy. You play football, keep your gob shut.
What's up with Bert's neck?
It's a war wound. Poor lad can hardly speak.
And also I have a light cold.
He's German. You're not, are you?
Yes, I am.
I'm guessing this was a labour of love for you, this film.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, Manchester City. It's my spiritual home, if you like, and Bert Trautmann, one of my heroes, of course, so of course it was, yeah.
Did you have to be persuaded much to do the film?
No, they'd have had to beat me away with a sticky, and that's No, as soon as I seen it, it was about sitting, it was about Bert Trautmann, and it was set in sort of Lancashire, you know what I mean? So it was great, you know.
For me, it was important that the film was done right because I knew Bert and I wanted him to be represented right.
Yeah.
You've seen it, and obviously you would have cared about Bert too. Do you feel the film's done him justice?
I do, yeah, I do actually, yeah. It's, I mean, I'm old enough to have seen him play, you know. What I can remember was just this big blonde guy in the net, like, you know, and everything, Bert all over the place, you know. I was only a kid, you know what I mean? But yeah, and I think it has done. I think the story's great, you know. It doesn't shy away from some of the trickier moments, what you had to face to, and I think, I think his son's seen it and likes it. But the bloke must have been a hell of a strong character to go through what he went through, you know. So I think, yeah, I think he'd be chuffed with it.
The era that you grew up in, there was a lot of resentment against the Germans, wasn't there? Did you feel it in your own personal life?
No, I didn't actually, no. I mean, I'm sort of like, you know, I'm born in 1950, you know, so it was like, you know, after the war and, you know, as a kid, like, first few years, you don't realise anything, you know what I mean? You're just playing alleys and kicking the ball about, you know. And I did a film called Jimmy Grimble once at Main Road, when it was Main Road then, you know, I was lucky enough to get on the pitch, which was a big thrill to me, like, you know, night time, under the lights and that, you know. So, yeah, I think they've done a great job, yeah.
Hold his head, hold his head. He knows.
Give over, he's a goalkeeper.
I played football myself in my youth, but I had to have some goalkeeping training and start from the scratch. And then it felt like I had two different jobs. On the one hand, it was this amazing love story and a film about reconciliation and about a man coming to terms with his own past. And on the other hand, it was just being a good goalkeeper, and he was really one of the best. So I had to have a lot of preparation beforehand. Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have seen the film, and it had a huge impact on me. I think it's a brilliant film. Are you confident this is going to get a worldwide attention? You know, that it's not just going to be a little niche film somewhere, because, you know, it could be misunderstood as just being a film about a Manchester City goalkeeper, but it's much more than that, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's, you know, it is hard, especially with independent film, because it's not, you know, it's not a Marvel, it's not, you know, billboarded everywhere, and we're not in superhero suits. So it's a film that's, of course, you know, it's harder to get that international access and that sort of international press and publicity. But it's a film that is absolutely a complete drama about family and love, and about people coming together and overcoming these, you know, huge obstacles. I think football comes into it, of course, and so does, you know, those elements as well of dancing, but it's more about humans and relationships and kind of humanity. And I suppose it follows these two people's destiny over 10 years. It's about that. It's about a life over 10 years, two lives over 10 years. So that's...
You mentioned dancing.
Yeah.
People have got to watch the film to get that, haven't they?
Well, absolutely, yeah. So Margaret's passion was dancing. She was a swing dancer, so that was so I did some swing dance training, a lot less sort of rigorous than you with football. But absolutely, you know, for her passion in sport was swing dancing.
Obviously, in the film, you have a northern accent and you have a German accent. So what people will now know is that's authentic, the German accent, but yours isn't, is it?
It is not, no. So that was a lot of work. And I stayed in the accent, actually, while we were filming. I stayed in the accent we filmed for 2 and a bit months, which was very strange. I mean, coming off set and going home and, you know, calling my friends or my mum with my Lancashire accent was very weird, indeed. Yeah.
Well, good luck with the film. It deserves a lot of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
I think we'll be doing a few football films. When Saturday comes, they're spitting the coffee and that, and looking for Eric and Jimmy Grimble, and now it's this one. So, but no, I think it's great. I love working with Rosie. He's, you know, he's a German director, fantastic bloke with David Kross and Freya, and you know, Dervla Kerwin, great actors. You know, so it was great, and we did it in Belfast, where I've only been before once, a couple of days to do radio, and then we went to Munich. So it was great, you know, and it's a good script and a good actor. So yeah, I loved it. I had a great time.
Hello, Ian. How are you, mate? Nice to see you. How's it going?
I'm looking forward to watching an amazing film with my friends. Do you laugh at the way I say film?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that's funny, like, don't get it. Yeah, I've got my girls with me, and movie night's my favourite night, so...
You're not old enough to have seen Bert play, are you?
No, I wasn't old enough to see Bert Trautmann play, but I know the Bert Trautmann. And everyone remembers the night he played in the FA Cup final with the broken neck in Corrigan.
That's a bit of a spoiler for the film, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it is or it's not. We all know that anyway. Every Blue knows that anyway. So, you know, it's great to be here. It's great to see a great goalkeeper play his game.
Joe, you knew Bert as well as anybody, really. Yeah. What sort of guy was he?
Very humble, nice man. He had an edge, a certain edge. You know, he doesn't suffer fools, or didn't suffer fools gladly. But when you sat down and talked to him away from peace and quiet, he came out. He was really. I found him a really nice man and a great person to talk to within the circle of football.
I spoke to the actor who's playing him tonight, earlier today, and he said he had to make a conscious effort as an actor to dive towards the ball head first. It was something Bert was known for, that wasn't it?
Yeah, well, in those days that was what we were taught to do, and you look at the goalkeepers of today, they tend to do it the opposite way around. They throw the backsides at the ball, but no, that was the way we were taught. That's the way Bert was renowned for. You know, and unfortunately he had that serious injury in 1956. But as I just said before, the incredible thing about it was he got on with it, and then he had to do it again not long after. And if it, you know, it would have been half an inch, even less than that, maybe quarter of an inch, gone the wrong way, he could have been paralysed from the neck down. He could have died.
I know we've lost Bert, but what do you think he'd have made of all this?
I think he'd have found it. He was a humble man. I think he'd have thought, what the hell's going on here? But at the back of his mind, I think he would have thought, it's nice. He wouldn't have made a fuss.
It's nice to know that goalkeepers are in the spotlight for once, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're in the spotlight for a good thing, but usually we're in the spotlight for the bad things. But that's what goalkeepers are like.
Speaking earlier to the stars of the film, and obviously you're the sort of engineer and the brains behind it, really, aren't you? How much did it matter to you doing a film which is a lot about Anglo-German relations?
Well, this was the reason I wanted to make it. So not only about Anglo-British relations, Anglo-German relations, relations between nations. So Trautmann was a symbol for someone who went the wrong way, found a new home, and was integrated, and who was a symbol for reconciliation. And also the letter of this Rabbi Altman, that was. I think here was a newspaper press. So. There the words from Rabbi Altman came into the world, where he said, okay, we have to watch this one person and don't throw him into an amount. So, and this is great.
Is it exciting being on the blue carpet doing all this?
It's very exciting, yeah. I mean, being in Manchester to show that film to a Manchester audience, this is the place where it all happened. I feel very honoured that a lot of members of his family are here, and I can't wait to hear their reactions.
Good luck, feel good.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Freya, I'll talk to you this afternoon.
Yes, I know.
You've got to now go into your St. Helens accent.
Oh God, no!
Can you do that? Can you do it like that?
No. I remember my sentence to get myself back into the accent was, "Oh, you bloody bastard," and I would just repeat that over and over to try and get myself back in the accent. But I'm not going to do it here. Okay,
you never said that in the film.
I know, but that was the most, you know. It's like with Scottish, you'd go like, "Oh, aye, the new," or you know, anyway, all that
You
stuff.
take inspiration from David Tennant when he played Doctor Who, because he had a Scottish accent.
Absolutely, but I no, I can't actually say I've ever watched Doctor Who. I'm ashamed to say so.
What's this like?
It's amazing. I'm very excited to be, finally delivering this film to the world, and I hope people will enjoy it. And, yeah,
They'll love it.
Well, I hope so.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
It's a nice story.
It's a fantastic story. There's a couple of bits in the film that I'm guessing you're alluding to. One of them being the little owl emblem. Did that really exist?
There's certain things that I've spoken to my brother about it. We're trying to go. The bit when he touched the goalpost, and we thought, I never really talked about that at all as well. So there's things I can't remember. But again, I wasn't born in when he played in those days, so it's hard to trip the old memory of what he did and didn't do. So
this must be an immensely proud night for you.
I think for the whole family, there's a lot of people here. My brother's here with 4 of his kids. I'm here with 2 of my kids, and then there's Barbara here as well with all her family. So there's an immense family support. And they're all, yes, you're right, totally messing around.
How big's your hand? It's about normal, that. I thought it'd be like a shovel.
No, unfortunately, the skills skipped a couple of generations, I'm afraid.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Can we play while we're waiting? absolutely amazing film. I definitely had goosebumps towards the end, I can tell you that. I mean, we all know Bert's story. Obviously, he broke his neck, he was a prisoner of war, but that film told me so many things I didn't know, and I'm so glad to have witnessed it. Amazing acting, amazing scenery. The main road set they built for back in the 60s was incredible. Had me fooled anyway. So yeah, all in all, I think it was just an absolutely great film.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I was crying my eyes out at the end. There was a bit of the story that I didn't really know about, and then when it all played out on the screen, I was bawling. But what a touching film. It was. You don't have to be, like Abby said, you don't have to be a City fan to watch that. You don't really need to be a football fan to watch it. It's just like as cheesy as it sounds, like a really, really genuine story of like humanity and grace and dignity, and it was played out with humour, and it was so endearing, and yeah, it's really touched me. I loved it. I really go and watch it. I really recommend it. It was magnificent.
You're obviously in the film.
I am.
But you've just watched it as a viewer.
Yeah.
Are you able to say what you think of the film, apart from you being in it and being brilliant?
Oh God, it's the most moving film. It's so funny. I think you can tell by the audience's reaction from today. It's really interesting, having been in the film and listening to everyone's reaction. There are times where everyone is laughing, and there are other times when it's just as quiet as, like, you can hear a pin drop. And I think it just captures the audience so much. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really, really moving is what I would say. And like, makes you laugh, makes you cry.
The film's an excellent story. I think most people would probably expect it to finish at the cup final, but it doesn't. It carries on, and I think that's what makes it special. It's not just a story about a footballer who broke his neck, which in itself is remarkable. It's a story about a man who went through so much and achieved so much, and it's just brilliant.
So that's it then. You've heard from the actors, you've heard from some of the people in the cinema, we heard from actors before the film as well, and I've seen it, of course, twice now. And what a magnificent film it is, full of heart. All the things that the actors said about it being a love story and it being a story, of course, about football with great CGI. What I would say is go and watch it, make the judgment for yourself. It is a brilliant film, it deserves awards, and thanks very much for watching.